two two videos in one day and a webinar. But in this video, we'll be discussing how to get ahead of 99%, maybe not of all business owners, but at least your peers. And I'll be using myself, my backstory as an example. So, my very first business, and really quickly, I bring this up because I see this with people that I engage with. Like I see them doing things that I did in my past that was essentially leading to my downfall, but I didn't know and couldn't recognize because I had never been there before. But my very first business was a cell phone business. We purchased and resold cell phones, and I was essentially ushered into that business, meaning it was kind of already like set up. The My business partner at the time, he basically just gave me instructions and said, "Hey, here's money, here's a car. You go out and buy cell phones. That's it." So I did that for a while, and I was excited because prior to that, I was making no money, didn't have no job, no income, no nothing. So initially, when I started, all I did was work, like 12 hours a day, like buying phones. And I started making all this money, like money I had never seen before. And this is one of the things that you have to learn to navigate. And if you don't know ahead of time, this will be a pitfall. It's hard to go from poverty to high income and not fuck it up. Reason being is when you're poor, you typically are bad with money, really bad with money. So when you get all of this money and it's coming in quick and it's in large sums, you tend to mess the money up. And that's essentially what happened, but it was a slow process. It wasn't immediate, it was slow. And eventually, over a long enough time horizon, and it took a while, maybe like 4 or 5 years, I eventually was forced to sit my ass down. The business was no longer, and now I was back at square one. I had a little bit of cash like that I had saved because I did learn some lessons throughout this process, but I was back to like no income. Then wiped all of my savings because I had no skills throughout this whole time. I hadn't really developed like any real skills, and my life was reflecting that I didn't have skills because I wasn't getting paid. So at that time, I essentially had to come to the conclusion that I was skillless and a change needed to happen. So this was maybe like 2015. So 2015, I decided like my life, like I was in charge of my life. Like nobody was coming to save me, nobody was coming to help. All of this shit was on me. And that one mental switch like changed my life for forever because I stopped indulging in the world. I got real particular about my time and who I gave my time to. And my life literally just became about obtaining new skills and getting myself up out of the shit that I was in. And it's like now, and the key to that is you need those periods where it's just you and you have the opportunity and the ability to just focus on you and bettering yourself and obtaining skills, because you keep like hitting these brick walls where shit's not changing. No matter what you do, nothing changes for you. And it literally just boils down to lack of experience, lack of skill. So if that's you and you keep running into the brick wall and shit's not changing for you, you simply need to upgrade yourself. Learn something new. And not only learn, you need to go ahead and apply it, because you can't get into this mode where you just keep consuming shit and consuming it and consuming it, and you never do nothing about it. But walk around and tell people, oh, I know this, I know this, I know that. You don't know anything until you have the ability to show it. No one cares what you know. So that's a trap as well. Don't get stuck in that trap of just consuming shit just to learn it to learn it. Go out and apply it and actually get some results. And I brought this up because I see new entrepreneurs, and these are like close friends of mine, who make that transition from being extremely poor to now making a lot of money, but they don't really do right because, again, they don't know. They don't do right with what they have at that time, and they get caught up in the world, traveling, shopping, buying shit. The next thing you know, you back to square one because you didn't take full, complete advantage of your situation. So the way to get ahead of the 99% is super simple. You have to do the opposite of what the world is doing, because no one really tells you, like, for real, like when you're, especially you're on the internet, you're on social media, it's very rare that you see people like, oh, save money, oh, invest money, oh, invest into your skills, or invest into your business. You just see a whole lot of flash and bang. In Texas, we call that all had no cattle. A whole bunch of shit that looks good, but it lacks substance. So it's easy for you to get under that influence and start enacting it. The next thing you know, poverty didn't hit you again because you didn't do what you needed to do. So the best thing you can do is pick a big ass goal. Like, I mean, a goal so big, like if you were to tell your friends and family, they would laugh at you. I know it's kind of getting dark, but y'all can still hear me, hopefully. A goal so big that your friends and family will laugh at you. And see, that will be your guidance. What happens is, when we lack guidance and all we were trying to do is get out of poverty, as soon as we're out of poverty, then we start cutting up and engaging in behavior that leads us back to it. But even me, if I had a big enough goal when first go around with the cell phone shit, I would have known at least what not to do. Not to stop doing what allowed me to get where I was at in the first place, which ultimately was focus and discipline. And that's what it takes to navigate every level. The ability to focus on the right thing at the right time, and the ability to be disciplined. And even to this day, anytime me, I notice that I get off track, is literally lack of focus and lack of discipline. So if you want to get ahead of 99% of your peers, you have to know when to be laser focused and extremely disciplined, and know when to step out of the game and be to yourself. Hopefully this helps somebody. If y'all found this helpful, useful, thumbs up, share it, subscribe. I know y'all can't see me. It done got real dark out here. But yeah, hopefully y'all like this video. Comment your thoughts. Talk to y'all soon.